Welcome back to Win Against Time. Dave's quite upset here. Look at his face, guys.
I literally inhaled, ready to fire. I had in my head how I was going to open the show, and you just came over the top like a wrecking ball. But now I'm talking, and you can't get in front of me, so I'm going to say what I was going to say. Big week this week. We've got Joey Fernand, who's a fan favourite, back in the studio. We love having Joey in. He's basically one of the co-hosts. Just sometimes he's got gigs on and stuff, so he's not so reliable. But we get him in when we can. We're going to discuss many other things, including Joey's brand new fancy car.
Ooh, a fancy car.
I've got a story about a big black spider. We've had a couple of little fishing trips. We might touch on them briefly.
I heard you pummeled yourself into a pulp.
I pulped myself.
Tenderised.
There is much, much more. All our regular segments and very exciting show tonight. Hello, Joseph.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for inviting me back into the wonderful world of fishing.
Great to have you. Great to have you. Now, off the top of today's show, I know it's been well and truly covered, but I just wanted to say probably not the appropriate time to be laughing, I'm afraid, Adrian. I want to say it was very sad news this week to hear of the passing of a fellow fisherman. And being kind of a fishing podcast, I thought it would be remiss of us not to touch on Andrew Symonds, one of the greats.
Yeah, well, I think growing up as children watching the cricket on Channel 9, he was a cult classic hero, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He had the dreadlocks. He used to smash that ball, and that's why we used to love him. He was an exciting player. Immense
Natural talent. Your quintessential Australian. Loved his fishing.
He did.
To the detriment of his sporting career.
Yeah, he actually got booted off the Australian squad when they were up in the NT because he missed a training session because he was barrow fishing or something.
It was probably the runoff and the barrow were on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, sad news. Another great of the cricketing world gone too early. So, Vale Andrew Symonds, boys. Very sad news. Now, Joey, you just rolled in a brand new vehicle.
Now, I reckon he's stepped his real estate game up here. He's looking more like a velociraptor when he goes to these auctions and tries to get money out of their houses.
A velociraptor?
Yeah, he just attacks them. Bang, give me your money.
Tiny arms, big head.
Oh, shit.
Small butt.
Isn't that T-Rex?
What would you like to know, Dave?
Well, I just think it's a landmark in your lifetime because the whole time I've known you, you've been rolling around in this beautifully kept Honda CR-V, which how many thousand Ks did that car have on it when you find it? You've still got it actually, but how many thousand Ks does it have on it currently?
Yeah, the 2005 Honda CR-V, it's been a fantastic car for me. I've used it to launch my 4.2 metre dory off the beach at Flinders numerous times. It actually, at one time, it got totally flooded at Walkerville beach launching, which incidentally, I think Dave got his car flooded on the same day.
What? Dave would not flood his car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My old four-wheel drive.
No, he did not.
She was moments from going under.
So Joey did it and then you did it on the same day.
I didn't know Joe was there, but yeah.
It was before Dave and I were introduced to each other.
Yeah.
It was back when Dave used to fish with Gwaine.
Oh. Okay. just straight off the bat there.
But yeah, it's been a great vehicle. 2005 Honda CR-V launching the tinny off the beach. Like, it's not a proper four-wheel drive, but it's got the back wheels has got that anti-slip wheel thing. So it's like a toy four-wheel drive.
Yeah, so an all-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's like a soccer mum's car, but I made it into a man fishing car. So look, that was great.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
So you turned a CR-V into a man's fishing vehicle.
I made it into a man fishing vehicle for more reasons than one.
Oh, dear. I don't know what that means.
Maybe he likes playing with poles.
No, I think it's probably some of the company he kept in that car.
Oh, there you go.
So that was 12 years, owned that vehicle for, and I've still kept it. The registration insurance is paid for another year, so it's too good of a car to put in the bin because mechanically it's working fine at the ripe old age of 470,000 kilometres on the clock.
We got there. He's just finally answered the question I asked 5 minutes
So
ago.
400, almost 500,000.
Yep, almost 500,000. So we'll see if we can get it up over 500 in the next year. But I ordered my new vehicle in January, which was a Volkswagen Tiguan R,
Yep.
which is the first of its kind. Normally, Tiguan is a medium SUV.
Now, you lost Dave at one of the model numbers you said. He's drinking his wine here.
Yeah, it's normally it's a medium SUV that it's only 167 kilowatts. The R line is just the sporty body.
So that's why you got the sports one.
No, so the R line is the old one, but the new one is actually just R on its own, which is max sports performance vehicle. The engine's 235 kilowatts. It's got 21-inch sport profile wheels.
All right, we don't need to hear the whole spec sheet.
It's got the blue
I just
colour.
wanted a brief overview that you got a new car. It was cool.
It's really nice, and I got it ceramic coated.
Now, you've got it ceramic coated, which is great. Have you got a tow ball on it? Because we want to take it on fishing trips.
Oh, I've got the Honda for that.
Surprise, we're about to go hurl wine at it and test the coating.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Joe did a real nervous laugh. After the show, Joe. That should be good.
Loving my new car, Dave.
That's awesome. Now,
Does it do burnouts?
Oh,
we'll find
We're
that
at the
out
factory here.
We
We
are
might
in
light the wheels up.
we are in an industrial estate.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
When in Rome,
Oh, no.
there is some...
Joe's selling houses. His phone's going off.
Oh, that's okay.
hey,
Silent, silent
those Tiguan's don't pay for themselves, Adrian.
they sure don't.
Now, Joe, you haven't been fishing for a while, and we have already talked about this without you, but I wanted to briefly congratulate you on releasing a beautiful big tuna the other week under my tutelage. Well done, me. So
We had a fantastic weekend.
we did.
It all started with the luxury cabin that I managed to secure for us on the way down, which
Yes.
to Dave's disappointment.
Delight when I found out you were paying for it.
Now, I've got to say, Joey, you took a beautiful photo of that fish you released. Like, the
Oh,
colours
wow.
were just magnificent.
Did I take that?
Well, Dave told me you did. I said that.
No, I think I did.
You
But
did.
When the photos came through to me, I was like, wow, that's a stunning photo. The colours and the light is perfect.
And I understand why you would have thought that was me, because I do take some superb
Well, Joey doesn't even
photographs.
know he took it. So,
I could have claimed it.
yes.
no, it was just the classic. Airdrop me everything, the last 20 photos, and
Yeah.
it must have been in there, hidden.
I just want to get some of the emotions that you felt letting that beautiful hook. First of all, catching.
Now, I've got to
And-
say, Joey's like caught more fish on that boat than I have.
Yes, barrels, yes.
No, fish, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've only been in it
Like 3 times.
300 times.
But you are commandeering your own vessel now, Adrian.
Yeah.
So, how's the feels, Joe? How's the feels?
Oh, it's got to be one of my most favourite fish to catch. Like just the power. Like when you see a barrel hit one of those Tiagras spooled up and the rod, there's no mistake about it. That rod, like it doesn't bounce. Like once it's bent, it's straight away. The rod is stiff and just crackling off line, and there's no better sound, no better feel, and it's really enjoyable on stand-up game gear.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
And you did a splendid job of wheeling that bad boy in, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Very
It was
impressive.
great boat driving as well. It's a
Yeah, it was mostly the boat driving. But, you turn that handle proficiently. It was good.
I was going to say, so when you hear that crackling noise off the reel, that really gets your heart pumping.
Here we go.
What?
I know what you're going to do.
So, we went out fishing last week, and I did a couple of filming things, and Dave had no idea what was going on. And I've let the reel go into free spool, and he's done the old.
that's the oldest one in the book.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, look, I know what's going on, but it's an internal, involuntary reaction that I can't control. I knew deep down that it was Adrian playing a trick, but my body is so finely tuned to pouncing upon
I know
big tuna
your
that
right hand was on the throttle straight away to back
Yeah, yeah.
the revs down a little bit.
that's muscle memory, buddy.
Yeah.
Muscle memory. Are you going to play that? And
No.
oh, Well, if you would like to watch that, go to our Instagram and jump on the reels and have a look at me reacting to nothing. No, it was a good joke. Well done.
And I did put some just sound effects, like random sound effects over it. So it's,
Some very classy sound effects. Now, Joe, I know you want to have a chat about this beautiful drop of wine we're drinking. We're very refined gentleman now.
Absolutely. No, I brought down a bottle of wine from our good friend Sean Hildyard. If you're watching tonight,
Also known as Shu.
South African fellow of mine, and he's importing premium South African wines. And I've brought in a bottle for us to try. So Shu has sponsored tonight's podcast.
some seriously old dirt. Do we want to be eating dirt?
Yeah, well,
Oh, it's nice dirt. Have you tried it, Adrian?
No, I might give it a try, but I think he only brought 2 wine glasses.
I feel like Joe,
we've got a third one. I wasn't sure if you're into it.
Oh, I wouldn't mind trying it.
You should.
So-
I really feel like we're Joe Rogan with his whiskey advertising now.
oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Drinking
So we've
whiskey
been
while recording.
sponsored our first alcoholic beverage here, guys, and it's some old dirt. Joe's pouring me some here now.
I like the precedent this is setting.
Yeah.
So these are Sean is from South Africa, and these are obviously South African wines. But
So
have a quick taste, Adrian.
Yep, it can't be bought at Dan Murphy's. This particular one that we're drinking is it's a blend of Cab Sav with Malbec, and just give us that second slide.
oh,
Mm.
it's actually quite tasty.
It is, isn't it? Not bad for some dirt.
So it's a blend. Like
It's a blend, yeah. It's a really full-bodied, big wine.
it's not overly powering.
No,
Oh.
so this would be your one you'd have with like a nice eye fillet steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just had a live report come in, people. So
Oh.
look forward to that a bit later on in the show. Done any fishing, Adrian, last week?
I did actually.
How'd you go?
Because there was reports of these winter kingfish hitting the port.
Or was
And
it?
I've tried to stumble my way on top of them, and I think I've missed the bite. So I did go out and catch some squid again, which is, I love squid fishing. Do you like squid fishing, Joey?
Oh, mate, I love tossing squid into hot oil.
Oh, goodness.
I didn't know
Wasn't
where.
expecting
I was
that.
wondering what you were tossing.
No, yeah, I really enjoy squid fishing.
My Uncle Tone's very good at squid fishing. He just says, like when he used to go fishing at Flinders, they used to sell the Vietnamese in their little tin boats, sometimes multicolored, and he says, Joe, I always get the squid. I just follow the Viet Cong. They know where the squid is.
Oh, shit.
Right.
He's gone a bit
a little bit.
cancel cultured. He's brought it back.
Look, it's an interesting.
Well, no, okay, take the joke out of it. If you've seen boats drifting up and down on one little patch of water, hey, it's a fair chance that's where the squid going to be, right?
Yes, the Vietnamese community is quite proficient in catching the squid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But probably not how I'd put it. But you're only repeating
I would have just said,
story, I suppose.
just follow the local Flinders fishermen and
Yeah, that's how I would have said it. But not everyone is as
We can be colourful on this podcast,
yeah,
right?
we can be as colourful as we like.
yeah. No, you've
As
done
long
well.
as I'm not saying it.
Oh, jeepers.
Joey's
I'm going to
So
get
you-
hate mail now. Far out.
No. Your uncle.
Yeah,
will.
we don't get a lot of mail, Joey, so please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and
Probably
let us
best-
know what you think.
Probably
What
best you said
Joey
that
said.
now rather than when we're actually popular, if that ever does happen.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
moving
finish
on
it
to-
on about your squid story, Adrian. Sorry to hijack
I was just
that.
saying I love squid fishing, and I know I fished the tide change. Oh, just before the tide change, so I would have some fresh squid to try catch these winter kings inside the port.
Nice.
And there was a few caught the morning before the morning that I went on, and I couldn't actually find the kings at all. But I just towed around some live squid and some strips and hoped for the best. And there was a few boats doing it, and I don't think any were caught that afternoon when I was there.
Did Big T get stuck into the kings?
Yes, he did. The day before I went, I think he got a couple, and there was a few other boats that got a couple the morning that I went as well. So
he is the Kingfish
King.
Maestro.
Yeah, they don't call him the Big T for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Old 6 foot tones.
It's an ironic nickname.
The big T for Kingfish.
It's a bloody weapon though. And if you wanna get some Kingfish tips from Tony, just go into
I know.
online and bug him. He'll love it.
Yeah.
So
So if you see Tony in his Caribbean on Western Port just going in weird areas, just follow him and you might stumble across a king.
Hang on, where's that tackle shop again?
Hastings.
Spot on tackle or
Yep.
fishing online
Yep.
in Hastings.
Marine Parade?
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
Yeah,
Why is that, Joe?
Oh, well, that's where you got to tell people to go if you wanted to pop in a Big T shop.
We
They
don't-
might not know where it is.
We don't do that. We're not a play. We've already given Sean some advertising for his wine. We're not a marketing company,
Yeah, I understand that.
but they are great in there. Those guys, so well worth dropping in there.
It's
for a good
building a community of legends. I'll take it from your mouth, the words from your mouth.
Okay. Yes, I did say something similar to that once upon a time. So you lucked out on the Kings, Adrian.
Yeah, as you quite often do when you target those species.
Yep.
They're quite a hard species to crack,
They are.
especially in Western Port.
Yep. On one day off the other.
Yep. Just like the barrel tuna can be quite the same locally because I believe you followed a couple of reports.
There was whispers.
Yeah.
There has been whispers.
Yeah.
And I happened to have a Tuesday off and
It was like 25 knots.
it was blowing. But you know the saying, if it's blowing, I'm a going. And
I've never heard that saying.
I managed to...
No, I haven't heard that either.
Wow, we all know a bit of rough weather gets the fish going. And I managed to coerce my brother into coming with me and was even rougher than I expected it to be.
Well, I saw William's story update and I replied back to him. I said, looks like Vomitron 2000.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
See from this video here. And videos just don't show the roughness properly, do
Oh,
they,
my
Joe?
good. No, they never do it justice, but I would be vomiting sideways in that.
This is trolling too. This isn't... that is absolutely crazy. Those listening on the radio in their cars, he's going up mountains.
Hey, you got... so it's very, very rough, but they're actually trolling through dolphins,
Yeah,
which are very, very good for barrel catching.
that's true. That's sort of the best life that I found, though. And Will was seasick, and it was a good time all around. I did see some school fish as well.
Did he take his tablet?
No, he's pretty good with the seasickness these days, but I suppose everyone has their limit.
No one can be good in that.
You take them out in a hurricane, they're probably going to get seasick. So, yeah, I've compacted my spine a little bit more. But, yeah, the boat handled it beautifully. It wasn't unsafe. It was just very uncomfortable.
Oh, I would have used my ski gloves and I would have just hung on to that steel bar on your dash for dear life.
Yeah, it was one of
Your
those
arms would be
days.
quite sore, hanging on all day.
My whole body is extremely sore, like I've done a giant workout.
Now, when you go out there in the rough and you take someone and you say, you know, we've got to fish all day and grind, and they agree to that, when they're out there, is it a little different? Do you feel some compassion, especially when they're throwing up and sore? And
I just kept saying, I'm just going to go up here a bit further, then I'll just troll back with the sea the whole way. We'll go in.
and you kept pushing into the wind?
Like, oh, there's birds over there. Can I go over there? Can I troll over them? Yeah. Right. 2 hours later. Yeah, so.
Yeah, when we're going in, Davey.
Yeah.
You got that many times?
I just can't do it. It's just not in me to, especially when it takes you like 2 hours to punch out there and bash yourself to death. To go straight back in again, it's just against my every core of my being. So, yeah, we had a bit of a look. Hard to cover ground when the weather's like that, obviously. So I'm sure they're out there somewhere. There's pretty good whispers. I'll put it that way. So
when you go out there and the weather's that rough, do you lose visibility of seeing life on the surface and the bird life, or not really?
not really. I just think that you can't cover the same amount of ground.
Okay.
Mind you, I went a fair way, but there was one other boat out there, another Edencraft, and he didn't really see anything either. So
That was the day of the Edencraft.
yeah, it was the day of the sucking at fishing. So that was my fishing trip for the week.
So you obviously filled up the morning.
Oh,
As
that
you
is
went
the other
on.
ridiculous part of it is that a day before I went out, unleaded fuel was $1.70. I filled up actually my wife's car at $1.69, and then the day I went out, I paid $2.15.
Flip.
That is messed up, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely horrific.
So you took your brother out, made him pay half your fuel bill,
Yeah.
only to get pummeled.
Well, as I said to someone, at least the weather was nice and the fishing was good and the fuel was cheap. Good day all round.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was my fishing report for the week. Hopefully the next one's a bit better, but you got to be in it to win it. Could have gone out there and caught that dreamfish straight away, and I'm sure with some nice weather coming up over the weekend, there'll be a few people out there looking.
Yeah.
And to that I say good luck to them.
We went out looking and casting at schoolfish last week in my boat, and didn't see too much life out there. A few schoolfish jumping around and stuff.
Yeah. You know what did happen?
What did happen?
Your boat performance went absolutely rocketing backwards.
Yes.
You've been meddling.
Yeah,
and
so
you've completely
I've been
ruined
meddling
it
again. I've been meddling again.
First thing I
Dave's
noticed
putting me
is-
on the spot.
As we hopped in the boat to head out, Adrian goes full throttle, ready for the boat to roar into life, and it just sort of sits there, half on,
Yeah,
unable to play. And I think
I've
to
been
myself,
playing with props again.
to myself, this is reminiscent of where we were 6 months ago, and a motor change and a tune and a prop difference. We're back to square one.
Yeah, so I went up another pitch, and it was a pitch too much, Joey. So what happens when you go up the pitch? It takes a bit more to spin it. And with the extra body and fuel and gear in the car, in the boat, it didn't want to go on the plane unless we had some weight on the bow.
I'm sorry for adding another human and some fishing gear to your fishing boat.
Oh, wait.
I tried this prop the other day, and I got the boat up to 65.8 k an hour, the tinny.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, but it was only me, no gear in it, and spun that prop quite easy. But once you start adding weight to it, it didn't want to spin it. I think I could only get up to 5,200 revs with Dave in the boat, going with the tide too. We just couldn't spin it. Too much stern weight.
Yeah.
You don't want to put a bigger motor on?
He does want to.
No, I've gone back to my other prop, and that gets up to 62, 63.
Okay.
Which is fine. I was just
Basically, Adrian over-meddled and ruined the whole thing again.
Yeah, but you know what? You learn a lot of stuff about motors, playing with props, playing with motor heights.
And you also pulled off the exact transducer we needed to go tuna fishing because you were worried about it creating drag.
No, it wasn't drag. So what happens is when you got a transducer or bait pump or something on the starboard side, it creates an air bubble, which then goes into the prop and makes it, slip. You're not getting clean water to the intake of the prop. So it decreases your performance.
That's good. It also decreased our fishing performance because the transducer we need to sound up tuna was left in your factory at work while we were fishing blind. Well, it's worth it to get an extra 2K an hour.
No, well, yeah. But what else I was going to say about playing with props and motor height, when you see these videos on YouTube when they're Joey's just left the conversation.
How's your sail going there, Joe?
No. I'm actually just sending you a lure link.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing this again. Where Joe sends random things through to Adrian during the show.
So what I was going to say about when you see these YouTube videos when they're comparing the same horsepower motors on the same boat, right? This is where it can throw people off because they're not the same motor height, they're not the same props. This is where they need to compare it, the same motor height and the same props on those motors, because quite often they chuck these motors on the boat with the prop that it comes with.
Yeah.
Especially these small and horsepower motors.
Yeah. No, it can make a huge difference.
Oh, mate, it makes a huge difference when you play around with props and motor height.
Yeah.
It increases your revs. You can get props that, do heaps of different things. So,
yeah. We'll continue to watch this story.
So what's the size of the new prop or the pattern? What's the difference?
The one I tried, it just went up a pitch to try to get more top end speed, which it worked with just me in the boat.
So what does that mean? Like the blades are wider, or is it the shape of it?
It's the angle of the 3 blades, they have more angle. So if you go up, just say 16 pitch, that means every rotation, the boat's moving 16 inches instead of 15 inches,
Right.
which is the next size down.
Mm.
Does that make sense to you, Dave?
Yes. Prop chat
Yeah.
101. Really?
So, yeah, obviously, once you increase the pitch, the harder, the more strain it puts on the motor to try spin it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the long run, you get better top end speed because you're pushing more water per revolution. So,
Awesome.
There's a real science to it.
yeah, there actually is.
Awesome. I have a little non-fishing related
Okay.
story, which I thought it would be fun to mention on the podcast.
Yeah.
You afraid of spiders, Joe?
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah. I hate them.
Oh, dear.
Are you afraid of spiders, Adrian?
Not really. I meddled with them a lot when I was a child, so they don't scare me.
They don't really scare me either, and I felt like my reaction was quite cool, calm, and collected to this incident.
Yeah. So when Dave sent this photo through, which I'm going to put up in a sec, I go, holy shit, that's a huge spider. But I think he had his macro lens on.
I zoomed in on it. You want to see all its features.
Have a look
So,
at this, Joey.
what variety do you think that is, Joe? Tarantula?
No, that's a plastic spider.
It's not plastic, mate.
No, someone's bullshitting you and
No.
a plastic
No,
spider.
this was on him, Joey.
I was at a customer's, right, putting security doors in. Got a bit hot, so I took my hat off, put it on the table.
When you got back to the factory, or
No, when I was putting the doors in.
at their house.
Yeah.
Oh,
I go home, back to the factory, put my hat back on, go back to the factory, sit down, have a bite of lunch, all that sort of stuff. Probably 2 to 3 hours has passed since I've been at this house. And something's like rustling around here, and I just think, I was wearing my Merc hat, and
yeah.
you can see these hats, they have like a real big tag on the inside.
Yeah.
I just thought, it's just that. And this happened a couple of times. And then, like, just randomly, like, I put my hand there and I felt something move, and out popped over my shoulder onto the table this spider, which you've just put up.
Yeah.
This big ass black spider had been.
How big was it? Like, it was big as your hand? Or
No.
That's what I thought. When
It
I
was
saw
as big as your.
the palm?
About 2/3 of your palm.
It was not 2/3. What?
Pretty big.
This big.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, not that big. Okay, it was smaller than that.
About a third.
Anyway,
Probably like your thumbnail.
But anyway, this thing had been crawling around on my head for like hours and hours.
When he sent this photo in, I go, holy shit, is that a funnel web spider? And he goes, no, it's not that big. I go, oh, did you use macro lens? He goes, yeah, I think it's a
Common
Black-
house,
yeah.
black
black
guy.
spider.
They look
thing.
scary though.
Yeah, they do. They've got furry legs and they
But I
look
think they're
quite
harmless.
aggressive.
And I'm a bit disappointed. I don't have any spidey senses or ability to
Did you?
flick webs out my wrist or do I? No, I don't. I tried. Didn't work. No dice. But yeah, just thought that was a fun little tale for you boys.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty cool.
spider in hat. Living
How
on
would
my
you
head.
react with that, Joey? If that happened to you?
Oh, you don't want to know. I'd probably make some kind of noise and I'd probably
You can give us
attempt.
a demo of the noise you'd make.
Be like, I'd get naked. I'd be taking all my clothes off.
So you're one of the guys who would find a spider in the car and you just abandon it and take to the scrap metal joint and go crush this car.
His new car, yeah.
No, I've actually had that. I've had that happen in the old Honda CRV.
Oh no!
Yeah. I had a big huntsman crawl up into the passenger seat. I almost drove off the freeway.
Oh shit!
Just slammed the hazards on, went to the side of the road, and then I had a piece of cardboard in my car. I was trying to shoo it out the side.
You know what they say? Like when you're in the bush or jungle, or whatever, and you see a spider or a bear or a snake, whatever, they say you got to act cool, calm, and collected. And here you are, ripping clothes off, making noises, and
That's if it's on you. Like that was
Yeah.
on Dave's head. I would
you would melt.
have been like stripping down to my jocks until I knew that spider was not anywhere on my body.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well.
So that's what I would have done.
Everything worked out all right. Do we want to throw to the reports? I've got a couple of roaming reporters out on the grounds.
Okay.
I've had
Dave is really intrigued to get to this stage because he's getting live report to you.
I've got reports coming in. And
here comes.
We'll throw over to that. Welcome to the hookup. Bang!
What do you got for us?
Okay, so we've got 2 reporters who are out in the field.
Like
we've recruited
Channel 9 or Channel 7 or
and the first one
grassroots reporters.
They're real grassroots sort of units. The first one we've got writing in is Shane Lowry, who is also known as the Southwestern Dominator.
Yes.
I believe we call him.
Happy birthday, Shane, for the past week.
Yeah.
It's my birthday a couple of weeks too, Joey. I didn't get one of those.
No, you were you were a bit before that, old buddy.
Yes. Happy birthday, Shane. So he has sent in a report. Allow me to read. He has just said that he's heading down to the Glenelg for 4 days tomorrow.
I know, he's on the Mulloway.
And there's a great run of Mulloway happening right now.
Oh, wow. I'm in. Let's go. Drop everything.
Yeah.
It is. If you do want to just catch Mulloway, that joint is bloody awesome.
Shall I go there on Friday?
You should.
And how big are the Glenelg Mulloway? Oh, it's on
They
average.
can get quite big.
Yes, they can. They can. They really can. They really, really can, guys.
I'll send
there's-
some good photos.
It's coming into that season too, isn't it?
Yeah. So you catch a lot there as bycatch when you're catching brim and stuff.
Breams.
I've caught them there myself. I'm pretty highly skilled in the art of
flicking the plastic around and go.
hang
on
on.
the plastic.
Didn't you say that you go there to catch Mulloway? What's this brim stuff?
Shane loves his brim.
Brim are pretty epic.
You know, Dave took Shane brim fishing in Western Port and he absolutely towed Dave up.
I was just his fishing guide.
Yeah, you
I was
were
like his
driving the
Sherpa.
boat.
Yeah. I was just the spot lock person operating the outboard. So he's said there's a good run of Mulloway there. And to Joe's comment there, they range from very small to some actually really big ones.
Not like mega juice size.
They
but
do. They get
You're talking about like
No,
46 kilos.
but 20 to 30. I'm sure there's bigger
no,
in
that's
there.
good fish. You know what? Paddo River also has Mulloway that size too.
It does.
The impression that I get of the Glenelg, though, that it's a numbers thing. Like you can actually have a trip there and catch 2, 3, 4 in a session. Like we go out on the snapper in November, we'll catch 3, 4, 5, 6.
Basically,
is that correct?
Basically, people just launch into there, ram their boat into the bank, into the weeds, and just fling some pilchards into the water and just catch them.
But they reinvent the fishery too. Don't forget that.
Do they? In what way?
I guess so.
Okay.
Is that pub still there at Glenelg?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's shut for a while, but I think it's open again.
Our good mate Andrew Pawsey. It's one of he's got many favourite pubs, but
Wow, I didn't know he had a first name. So it's Andrew Pawsey.
yeah,
First I've heard of it.
he loves the tomahawk steak at the Glenelg pub. So if
The Thumper.
The Thumper. That's
It's
it.
probably changed hands since then, Joe.
Yeah.
So who knows what they've got on the menu.
Thumpers and Mulloway at Glenelg.
May I continue reading my report?
Yeah, so you got live reports.
He's also mentioned some big redfin in the southwest impoundments.
Southwest
And some
Impoundments.
really nice trout starting to get caught as the weather cools off. Purrumbete would be the pick right now. Still some nice yellows coming in from Rocklands in the Glen Denning area and whispers of some pretty decent cod being caught in the same areas. I think they've put quite a lot of cod in
Didn't
there.
know there was cod on that side of the state.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very
Did you know,
cool.
Joey?
No.
I think that
Okay.
might be a new fishery,
New stocking program.
maybe.
Anything in that report there about Chinook salmon?
No, but they're in there, Joe.
Purrumbete has that, doesn't it?
Purrumbete's got Chinook salmon.
I actually
And I
did
think
see
Bullum-
the Tackle Shack shared a photo of someone catching a salmon there this week. So
There you go.
they might be on, Joey.
Shane probably doesn't know. He's not very connected. I'm
That's a fairly detailed report.
not finished.
Oh.
Some whispers of some decent cod being caught in same areas. Perch are still, Shane loves perch, taking surface lures early mornings in the upper reaches of the Glenelg. I'll add to that, if Adrian took his boat to the southwest this weekend and put 80 anglers on it, he could finish tag at 100.
Thanks, mate. So I need 80 people to catch 80 fish. So
Yeah.
we're catching one fish each. That's not very good.
It seems like a nice, easy way to do it.
Maybe I should go to Glenelg on the weekend or early next week
Oh no, we've put ideas in your head.
and catch some tuna during the day and then just anchor up in Glenelg and catch some mulloway while I'm sleeping in a swag in my little tinny.
Yeah, epic.
That sounds delightful.
Sounds very cold though.
It sounds cold, delightful, but it's a numbers game,
Do you
as
like
you're saying,
fully
Joey.
cold?
Oh,
Could you imagine how tired you'd be? Like you're just tired after you get off the ocean and then to go and continue fishing.
Do you remember the
That'd be
snapper
cold.
days where we'd plan to fish 2 tides and we'd still haven't caught, so we'd fish a 3rd tide and it would just be ridiculously tired, hungry, cold, headaches, and we'd just keep grinding till we got that one bite.
I used to finish work on a Friday, go straight to the ramp, launch a boat, and come off the water at like 3 a.m. on Monday morning and go back to work. Just fish the whole way through like a madman. I'm way too old for that now. Moving on. We also have our other reporter.
Oh, a second report. I think you're really excited to share this. Look at the smile on his face.
Oh, I'm just a happy person. I haven't even read it yet.
Oh,
It might be good, might be bad. Joniak, Tasmanian.
Oh,
You may know him from iFish TV.
I saw him on iFish last week, and I think he's starring on it again.
Yeah, he's a regular iFish TV host. I think Paul might be retiring and Jonah will be taking over the reins as far as I can see.
Does he still have the co-host in the show if it's just Jonah?
What co-host?
Like Christy and...
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to. I'm not sure about the logistics. It's just the vibe that I'm getting. All right, so I'll read Jonah's report. Do I do it in a Jonah voice? How do you do a Jonah voice?
You're going on to Joe's level if you do that.
Okay, so a good run of swords. Is that how his voice sounds? It's quite drony, but still lovely.
No, well, he's a scientist, so he's very mono.
Yeah,
And
that's what I mean.
He's stoic as well, so he doesn't like showing too much emotion.
He's also very scared of the government overlords that if he puts a foot wrong, he'll be executed. So
He does work for the government.
So when I talk to him in non-podcasting life, he is quite hilarious. But when he's on the podcast, he's too scared to put a foot wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so a good run of swords down here at the moment. Most fish coming out of St. Helens.
This is actually delicious wine.
It really
I'm
is,
into
isn't it?
I don't really like red wine, but I'm enjoying this.
It's quite mellow.
shoot.
It's quite mellow.
It's it's about a $50 bottle of wine.
Okay.
48. I saw it on the thing. So, but you can pay 50 if you like.
$2 win against tide tax.
A good run of swords down here at the moment. Most fish coming out of St. Helens and Eaglehawk Neck. Biggest has been around 200 kilo from memory. I got mine on a squid in 550 meters. 2-hour fight time. Oh, it's not all about you, mate. Also, a few barrels caught down deep as well. Quite a few being released. What? Fish released in Tasmania? Barrel run inshore at Eaglehawk Neck has been slow. My boy hooked one on his jet ski solo south of Tasman Island, battled it for an hour before the hook pulled. Oh no. No seals. Still plenty of schoolies about inshore, but the big albies starting to thin out now. To which I replied, okay.
I think we killed the last big albie down there.
No, I saw people were catching them this week.
The last
The big
breeder.
ones. The big 24
Bigger than
25
your
kilo
one.
ones. Really?
Enough to make massive palmers. Swimming palmers they are.
Oh.
I got told that turning fish into palmers was sacrilege.
No, not a chicken.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, when you catch as much fish as us, mate,
You got to start getting creative.
yeah, which isn't much. But
Still one dish I hope to crack out again soon is the tuna carbonara pasta. Creamy tuna.
Oh, yes.
Creamy tuna, bits of fried little pieces of tuna with bacon and mushroom and like a creamy sauce with like fresh chopped parsley and a beautiful wine.
Yeah, I do recall when you made this for
was
us all.
the night
you were
of-
on FaceTime with your mum to get the recipe and the method right.
I just had to triple check, checks and balances. We
so
had to
have you
make
got
sure.
it down now, packed?
Yeah, absolutely.
that was actually the origins of Wind Against Tide. Did you
Yes.
know that? You weren't even there.
What? I was there.
Yeah, it
when-
was.
Oh, you were there.
Yeah.
We all came together and had a beautiful winter meal.
Sorry, you must have been very forgettable. Your performance. on that podcast?
No, I didn't do the podcast. I went home.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good move. So me, Joe, and Winger did
Yes.
a test record. Oh, we should actually line up some clips of that because we've
Yeah.
still got it here somewhere.
Yeah, that was
Because
good.
Brendan got scared and never did anything with it. But I basically was drunk on red wine and just really just slinging off whatever came into my brain. And it was a lot of just laughing at Joe's expense, really. But that was the origins of Wind Against Tide, and here we are.
I wasn't trying to hunt down the third microphone, which Winger had lent to somebody.
Yes.
We'll just
May
say
have
it's
discovered
just
that's never
Still-
disappeared.
If you've got a Rode podcasting microphone in your tackle box, return it to Luty Refrigeration in Somerville.
Yeah, no, about that, Joey.
Yeah,
I
that's-
looked at I went to the same store to upgrade my video switcher here. And I go, can you print me off a receipt from like 2-3 years ago? Yeah. If you're on the system, they print me off the receipt. And I only got 2 mics and
No.
2 booms. Yes.
Yes. We blame, you've nearly choked yourself on your cord. We blamed Winger for that because he always just loses things and forgets stuff.
We went on a wild goose chase.
Well, I just thought Winger's lost it somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought, no
Well,
way.
he thought
is
he'd lost
Adrian
it. He actually thought he'd lost it too.
because he knows that he loses things. But no, it never existed.
Wow.
And if you're listening, Brendan, that's the first time that we've told you that. So now you know you can stop looking for it. It never existed.
Cancel the search.
Yes.
Well, when I bought this podcast, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
I had to go back through the system a long way to find it.
We've
but-
had plans for a very long time.
Yeah.
But it took a little bit of, I don't know. I just sort of decided we should actually do it. And then me and Adrian went ahead and Joe's doing something with his wine over
No,
there.
just look how it beautifully coats the glass. That's how you know it's a good wine.
It's got legs, Joe. Apparently that means it's a good wine if it's, I don't know if that's real, but that's what I've heard.
Seems like you're just lubing your glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I may continue with the fishing reports.
Yeah.
So love that. Hopefully we're going to get those reports weekly from our 2 men on the ground. If we've got anyone else maybe in Gippsland or other states, other countries. Joe's cousin in Mauritius. They want to provide us with some fishing updates. That would be wonderful. But
Yep, Pierre from Mauritius. I know he follows you guys on Instagram.
Oh, does he?
Yep, if you've got some fishing reports, game fishing reports, you send them through.
awesome. Can't wait for that. Now, we've also had some good sword fishing. Some good sword fishing in our state off Malakuta.
Yes. We saw Matt Cassar.
Yep.
with a
So they
few-
got 3 over a couple of days, I think. I've heard the water off lakes is pretty average.
Yep.
There still has been some fish caught. One boat got one that was 200 kilo. I know Richie Alboa has lost a couple. Plenty of boats coming in with nothing. But there was also a barrel caught on the deep drop.
Yeah, which is quite common this time of year, I think. Late
Not-
April,
not
early
uncommon.
May.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes even big eye,
Yeah.
big thresher sharks and stuff. Opers.
Yes, I would love
Actually,
to get
I don't
an
think
opah.
I've. Has there even been? I think I've seen one other Opa caught other than the one we caught.
No, I've seen a few. What's his name? Got one and a sword.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
And
Bob
then
Gray.
there's been some washed up on Golden Beach, Lakes entrance there.
Yeah,
You're
there's
not
the
counting that.
No, I'm not counting that, but I've seen a couple getting
I
caught.
thought that was a sunfish that washed up.
No, it was an Opa.
definitely a few Oprah Winfreys getting about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was retired. Always popping up off Lake's entrance.
Yeah, talking about the royal family.
I mean,
Okay.
Loves it.
Yeah, and as Jonas said, the sword fishing down there seems very good. Apparently, the guys that are actually looking at the charts and stuff reckon the water between Malakuta and pretty much down to Tassie is very average. So that could explain
yep.
why the bulk of the fish seem to be in those areas.
Yeah. Yep.
Barrels, big bluefin, big beautiful girls. They are still going.
Port Fairy still has quite a few good
Yeah.
fish. One of my mates' dad, who barely goes fishing like a couple times a year, he went with some of his South African mates because he's South African, and first time he's been tuna fishing, and he caught a 132 kilo fish out of Port Fairy last week.
Wow.
That's disgraceful.
Yeah,
You can't do it on your first
Congratulations.
attempt.
of just any kind of tuna fishing, just goes out and And he
They
goes,
would not appreciate it.
the way he worded it to me, he said there was two boats. There was a bait ball, and the other boat got to the bait ball for us, and so we went on the outside and hooked up onto a giant fish.
Classic barrel behaviour, really. Quite often lurking around the outskirts of the bait balls.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's Port Fairy is still good. Salty Dog Charter's getting quite a number of bigger fish as well, but the spotlight has pretty much been on Port Mac and to a lesser extent Portland. Stacks and stacks of them through there. Crazy season so far, really.
It's been one of the biggest barrel seasons I've ever seen.
One of the greats.
Yeah,
one of the absolute greats.
Lots of big fish getting caught, and there's been a new class of fish just arrived this year.
The medium dogs.
Yeah, like the 60s to 80s, I guess. Just heaps of them getting caught.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, maybe a good thing for the fishery.
Yeah, it's great.
Because it's been a missing, I guess, size of those fish that are, just showing up again.
Yeah. Awesome to see quite a few more getting released at the moment too, especially guys catching them on the solid baits down in Tassie. They've been letting a lot of them go.
That's good. Wonder how they go getting caught, a couple 100 metres down and then...
Fine. They don't have barotrauma. They don't have swim bladders.
Okay, there you go.
So, primo for releaso. Moving back locally to some kind of more bread and butter species, we have lots of gummies and schoolies and stuff getting caught offshore of Western Port.
A lot of people doing that.
I can add to that. Uncle Tone's been out in the last
Is
week.
this the one that made the racist comments? Or
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, gotcha.
He wanted us to forget that, and you just brought it back up, Dave.
But Boy One in Western Port still producing plenty of pinkies.
Is that the wedding cake, Boy One?
I'm
Good
not sure.
for pinkies down that way this time.
Yes.
Fantastic for pinkies just before the slack tide.
You can actually mark up like millions of them on the bottom, and you drop a squid down, and you'll hook up straight away.
Yeah, on snapper snatches, pinkies, a couple of hours each side of the tide. That's where Tones goes. And they picked up a nice 8.5 kilo gummy as well, mixed in with some mackerel and salmon as well. Just at anchor on bits of Californian squid on the snapper snatches. So, yeah, Boy One still fishing pretty
Californian
good.
squid on snapper snatches,
Yep.
Dave.
That's all you need. Just wham them on there.
Yeah.
Good report. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
And yeah, we saw with the I personally this time of year fishing inside Western Port for shark gummies. God, you seem to just get pestered by 7 gills these days.
As soon as that water cools down, right?
Yeah. Oh, they're
Every
a real
year.
menace.
Dave will never fish for gummy sharks ever again in Western Port because he just gets
Oh, they're
7
just
gorillaed
messed up.
all the time.
Oh,
Offshore just seems so much better these days.
you would have seen the Facebook video of young Finn Wing and Philip Gopel. They were at the local jetty and they saw a free swimming 7 gill.
Yes, man eater. I'm surprised it wasn't on 7 News, to be honest.
Oh, you do see a lot of
They do.
ordinary things a fisherman would see.
I remember someone just filmed dolphins like offshore just swimming around the boat, which we see every trip, and it was on the news.
So I've got a thing where I wake up in the morning and I scroll left of my phone and it brings up all the news articles. And there's always a fishing or shark related one from Perth. It's like, oh, great, a shark swimming around a boat.
Yeah, I remember someone filmed like a gummy shark swimming around the shallows at Port Phillip, and they had like a shark expert on and it was on the news. Tiny man-eating gummy shark on the loose. Worst thing they're going to do is probably slightly put pressure on one of your fingers if you happen to get near their mouth. Offshore gummy sharks, school sharks. Young Memphis got a heap the other day, solo, I saw. And plenty of other guys going out there.
It's his greatest ever fishing day, apparently, according to his report.
Yeah.
Well done, Memphis.
So lots of that going on.
Fantastic.
Gee, another report. When I was kingfishing, Memphis was trying for kings too, and I gave him my fresh squid that I caught because he cut up some frozen squid to tow behind his boat, and he caught quite a lot and large whiting with my squid. So I gave him some fresh squid. Where's my whiting?
Mm.
And what happened with his whiting? He chucks them in a cooler bag, and he's supposed to put ice in it, when he gets home. He didn't put any ice in his bag and it was left in the boat, so he lost all of those whiting.
Oh, no.
Oh,
That's a tragedy.
can't believe you've just exposed him like that.
Well, he freely told me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the whiting report. Now I don't have to talk about them, so that's good. I said to Adrian before, geez, I haven't seen much on the Port Phillip snapper. Is it possible that it's over? And he said, no. People have been catching them. So there you go. Port Phillip snapper.
I hear you guys talk about it every week. Would you like to elaborate a bit more?
What do you
It's
want
just
to
the same
elaborate?
thing
Like
every
they're going out in the deep water in the channels and they're dropping some pilchards or squid bits down there and they're catching snapper.
So
what do you want to know about?
Right, well, you know what? I never forget, like as a kid, we used to listen to Rex Hunt on 3AW and he'd be just hamming up, you can just drop the pick anywhere on the mud between 18 metres to 22 metres and you're sure of a snapper. And it's a lot of water between 18 metres to 22 metres.
Oh, well, people are just going out, using their sounders, marking them up. Very easy to mark
I think
snapper
that's
in
the
Port
key.
Phillip.
You want to be marking these fish and that's when you're going to drop bait on them. And if they're not biting in half an hour, move on some other fish.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're going to get one eventually.
Burley a lot.
Yep.
Huck some baits out. Boom.
Yep.
I
Is
think
that enough elaborating on the snapper for you, Joey?
I would say Mornington region
Yep.
this time of year.
I say Mornington towards the shipping channel in about 22 metres.
Sure.
Back of the mussel farm, perhaps.
I don't know, Joe. Maybe we'll get someone who's been fishing for them on the show. Maybe we'll get Reedies on.
Hey, that sounds good.
He's the snapper gun.
I actually saw him the other day
Yeah.
when I came in from looking for kings and he was going for whiting.
Yeah, right.
Yep. So he does fish Western Port a bit too.
Now, down in your neck of the woods, Adrian, I think Jace, has he been getting EPs?
Oh, I don't know if it's there.
No?
Look like some other place.
Oh.
I'm going to maybe call him out on this. Maybe
tell
Morty
you.
Alley Creek.
He won't tell you.
No, he hasn't messaged me in a while, but he does go down to Pato a lot. Yeah, and there has been quite a few bream and EPs getting caught.
But anyway, all through winter, you do get perch,
Yeah.
Jews, stuff through there. We forget about that. It's a cool little fishery.
I did try the other night for a Jew. I sat in my car and put some glow tips on some rods and...
I'll come down and do some. I'm not so. I think on lures.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys get them like under the bridges and stuff there.
Well, I do want to, on a calmer night, I'd love to just use my electric and just tow some lures behind the boat and cast at the same time.
Yeah.
Even thinking like back to roughly this time of year, back in the day when we used to go to the boat show, there should be even some mulloway that start popping up in the old Yarra River.
Oh, there has. I've seen some reports.
Yarra River mulloway fishermen are the most secretive creatures in the world. You wouldn't even know.
Except for you can see the bridges they're fishing under. And,
Yeah, but that's not
the MCG
I
in the
guarantee you
background
that's
and-
not where they caught them. They're
True.
probably moving and then getting photos.
No, you do see some videos of them catching the fish and then chucking it back in. So.
They're all basically Mitch Chapman. They put photos up 3 years later, different locations, blurred backgrounds. It's like the Mulloway Mafia, Joey.
Wow. And have you boys heard anything about the cods?
Yeah.
Is this
I'm
it
just
sounded
asking.
like an opener for a joke.
No, like we're on the hookup. There's got to be a report of some cods.
No, well, Colby does this thing where he comes to Victoria for 2 weeks and he takes his little tinny on the Murray River and he spends 2 weeks on his little tinny and he just casts at cod for the whole 2 weeks. And I think he's 6 days in, isn't he, Dave?
Been watching on Instagram, I think 4 to 5 days in.
Yeah.
I think there's been one over a metre.
Yeah, but he's caught a few, I guess, between 30 and 60.
Colby might be listening to us while he's floating down casting tremors
Yeah.
at cod. We'll have to get him on the show.
Yeah, 100%. So he's caught a few cod. This is the time of year, I suppose, where you get the good surface strikes, which is what you do it for. That surface bite is just incredible to see in real life.
There was a comp on at Eildon on the weekend.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Any
I don't have
caught?
the results, but I don't think it was real red hot. And I think the biggest one was 90 odd centimetres last I saw. I'm not sure how it ended up.
Was it wet that weekend? It might have been muddy off the banks.
Yeah, it was windy, wet,
Yeah,
very windy. Windy's no good for
not Ilden.
cod fishing in there, from what I've been told.
Because all the mud and water come off the banks and it just stirs it up and it doesn't look great.
Don't you think that would stir up the feed too, though? Maybe Maybe they're like how gamefish push up on that green water line and like herd the bait in there.
Well, we did speak about this with Pinto. He reckons under that mud layer, it's clear as day.
He said not to worry about it.
Yeah, true. There
Just
you go.
listen to him, mate. He knows what he's talking about. That rounds out the reports. I thought that was a bloody ripping segment,
Oh, that was a ripper, Dave.
if I may say so.
Dave's had a
myself.
couple of live reports and they were quite good.
I enjoyed them.
They've made me rethink what I'm going to do this week.
They were nice, weren't they? And that is the aim of it.
Look, I was just thinking just then.
Oh,
I'd like to put out an engagement piece to all the wind against tiders out there. Maybe after this show, could we get up some pretty picture? What I would love to know for the wind against tiders out there is, where are you planning to fish over the Queen's birthday long weekend in a couple of weeks, and what are you going to be targeting?
sorry.
So
Adrian.
leave a comment in this video or on our Instagram and we'll see what you're doing and let us know how you go.
Let us know what you're planning to, and let's reveal those people when they've commented. Maybe next
Reveal
week.
Like dating in the
Character
dark
unlocked.
style.
Not so much in the dark. There you go.
Got him.
Hey, I've got a segment.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a lure of the week. May I do a lure of the week?
Is it?
Yeah,
run this
you can
past
do a
us.
lure
Is
of
it-
the week.
Is it good?
I have noticed you've sent me some links, so I'm going to click on it.
Yep. Look,
Oh, it's taking me to an Instagram page.
Yeah,
and
It's not good. We're just cancelling
Oh,
it.
Mackenzie
Okay.
Lures. So
Oh,
what's your lure of the week?
no.
Mackenzie lures.
What have you called on it, Joey?
Oh,
Just
dear.
let us know.
Look, it's
is-
going to be.
This is hearsay. This is a hearsay lure of the week.
Look, it's a hearsay lure of the week. I know there's some very, very prolific southwest tuna fishermen using these particular lures, but the standout that I've heard in the rumour mill is an 8-inch
The rumour
serial pest. It's a bullet-headed skirt in a red bait pattern. I've
Is
just sent
that
Adrian
one?
the Instagram link.
Is that this
page.
one here?
How can you be recommending a lure you don't even own or have caught a fish on?
Because I'm hearing lots of people catching.
Come on, Joe.
Sorry, it's lure of the week.
It's not.
Now I'm going to put this to the wind against tiders. Is this sacrificial of Joey saying he's got a lure of the week and he's never used it before, never caught a fish on it?
Go catch something on it and come back to me, Joe.
There was a particular maroon boat that was using that
Allegedly.
lure.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and he caught plenty.
No, he did. But you don't know. You don't know that it was that lure. I just think that that's really, I don't know. I just don't think you can do that. I think you've got to actually have personally caught fish on it.
Well, what if you?
Yeah, you've got
You're
nothing.
very
Jumped him in.
no.
Got
Well,
nothing.
look,
Bamboozled.
You've got nothing.
Dave, you're very well connected in fishing, and you've heard the same story. Like that name of that particular pattern and lure keeps popping up in certain conversations.
Conversations with you.
I think red bait this year, any colour in red bait has been a standout.
Well, when
it's
the
been-
fish are on red
Yeah.
bait's good.
Yeah.
When the fish are on pilchards, pilchard's good.
Well, that
When the fish are on glow in the dark, lumo's good.
well, I caught that second barrel on Jave's boat on the same lure that I caught it on 2 years ago, the wedgie, which is that subsurface skirt in the blue.
Rest in peace. That lure's gone.
Yes.
What do you mean it's gone?
We had another bite and
Oh, yes.
someone overcrimped and it's gone. Let's not. I
Oh,
don't want to talk
okay.
about it. I don't want to talk about it. Can we move on to the questions? Our questions segment. We should have a bloody name for this segment.
Hit me with your questions.
Alrighty.
In-
Adrian's going to get it up on Instagram and I'm going to start off first.
Team born to fish.
Well-
what a lovely picture of a blue fin snapper.
I think
I
you
took
took that,
that.
didn't you, Joey?
No. Oh, I mean, I don't remember taking that. Joe might have taken it. I definitely took it. Are you starting off, are you?
Yeah,
Adrian?
so we got Team Born to Fish. So Phil is asking, have you prepared for frostbite over winter in your 420? Well, Phil, I definitely don't have a salty hunt dive gear 7-piece pack like you do, so no, I'm not prepared.
Well, you know what you need to do? Brendan used to do this when we used to fish for
Oh,
snapper
God.
in winter and you'd come in and be
Brendan
1
logic.
degree. he'd be in a singlet. And I'd be like, what are you doing? And he'd say, I'm conditioning myself, Dave. I'm preparing my body for the cold by wearing less clothes. And then next time I come out and I've got a jumper on, I'll feel cozy and warm. So maybe you need to be doing that, Adrian.
I've seen Brendan. I've fished with him.
Yeah.
I've fished with him during the day when it's like 25 degrees and sunny, and it's, the start of spring, and it goes to like 6 degrees in the night. And he goes, oh, I'm cold. Anyone got a spare jumper?
Yeah, he's very, very, very unorganised.
We just shake our head at him. He's still in jandals and board shorts and a wife beater. And we're just like, what is wrong with you?
He does it every time too. It's like you can't fathom the fact that when the sun goes down, it's going to get cold. But yeah, maybe you need to be doing some prep work, wearing less clothes, conditioning the body. Do some training. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Next.
I used to remember Peter Ferguson back in the day. He used to have a beautiful clears set up in his tournament. Boat.
The windows that come down in front of you.
Yeah, he had like a cocoon.
Do you remember those, Dave?
I just imagine like if you have a rod go off while you're in that little
You
house,
gotta unzip it.
you'd be panicking trying to work zips and shit.
You wouldn't want a bit of salt water stuck on one of those
Oh, God.
zips and the rods going. But yeah, I used to have the cocoon going, and we'd have the pizza oven and the heater going, and it was just like a beautul.
Now, speak about Fergie.
It would turn it into a real death capsule if you ever flipped with that down, wouldn't it? You just trapped underwater.
Now, while speaking about Fergie, he's just announced on Instagram he is starting a TV show.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's
Huge congratulations.
it's going to be good viewing. If anyone wants to check that out, Fishing with Fergie on C31.
It's on Channel 31, is it? Okay.
Yeah, will be.
There
I don't
you
know
go.
where else it'll be. Maybe.
Well, Seven Mate have a lot of fishing shows too, so I was thinking it was either that or Channel 31.
Well, maybe in the future it will go to free to air, Channel 7 or something. But yeah, if you want to have a look at that, Pete does heaps of stuff out of Port Welsh for catching gummy, snapper, and all that sort of thing. That'll be good viewing. Next question.
Yeah.
Nathan McDermott. Offshore squid during winter, worth having a poke around out there after barrel hunting. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I like
can
to
contribute
say,
to that.
hang on, I like to say, if you got time to go squid fishing, you're not grinding long
You've
enough.
given up too quick.
Yeah, because you want to give it to every bit of daylight you got left.
Personally, after I failed on the tuna, all I want to do is go home. Like, I think going in the other day, Adrian's like, should we have a squid drift? I'm like, no.
Well, the thing is, you're so used to fishing in the eating craft, and you looked at my fuel meter and you go, oh, we've only got 40 litres left.
Yes.
I'm like, so? Like, don't we need that to get back in? Okay, we need like 8 litres to get back in. We've still got like another 6 hours of trolling left.
Mm.
But I think that can really throw you off when you're used to using 30 litres in like a couple of hours on your boat.
We'd used 60 already.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'd already been fishing for like 8 hours.
Okay. We've caught squid out in 50, 60 metres quite prolifically
Yeah.
this time of year offshore. So
When we used to actually go kingfishing, we used to duck out to the 50 line and try to catch arrows, and you'd catch calamari.
yeah, but even when
the
gummy
same area.
fishing offshore as well,
Yeah.
like you'll get quite big calamari in the deep reefs there.
Look, I'm prepared to give away an area for some good, I call it semi-offshore squid.
Generous.
Yeah, on the western entrance of Western Port there, around
This is Joey Guides, guys.
100%. There's in about 25 metres off the west head, there's quite a lot of kelp. Let's call it kelp bottoms. While you're fishing for gummy sharks, when it goes to the slack water, you might want to paternoster down a size 3 squid jig, and you'll catch some really nice squids.
Yeah.
In 25 metres.
Now,
So-
Joey's he obviously doesn't listen to the show because he's just sent me a photo of
Excuse me, I'm
something
just
we talked about last week.
I'm just taking notes.
Brendan.
Kelp.
No,
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Joe.
No, Joey's just sent me a photo of something that we spoke about last week with Dave and me. And remember this tea tree comp, Dave? Look up on the screen.
oh, this is one of my. Can I just share how happy this
Seems to be
photo
a-
makes? This photo makes me smile so much every time. Please leave the photo up. I want to just enjoy it. Adrian just touched on it before about Brendan fishing in the springtime for snapper, and this was one of the times Brendan's in his duck jacket that he got from North America, and he still was cold. He needed Dave's armchair on the coup de grace gun shot, which you spoke about with Dave Meehan, and he's got a beautiful quilted warm blanket, but he still wanted to be involved in snapper fishing. So after Dave pulled in a snapper, he's carefully placed the snapper into Brendan's lap and just involved his good mate in snapper fishing for springtime.
I think that was Tea Tree, actually.
Yeah, it was me, Dave, and Brendan on the boat, and the armchair took up the whole room of the boat.
Yeah, like I was, I'm at home going, oh, how's it going? And it's like, yeah, Brendan just caught mine. I get this photo. I lost it.
Special little guy.
Fantastic.
So next question we have from, I love the questions from Luke McCredden. And I actually said to him, what have you got this week, Luke? And he's come out with something, and he said, just wondering why Arnott's and like are so enthusiastic about ensuring we open a box of Savoys up one specific end. Like if we open the other end, does it spoil the cracker? Do we get in some sort of legal joust? What is it? Why the open other end?
Oh, I can answer
Forcefulness.
You're talking about like in a box of shapes?
that. No.
Savoys.
I can answer that question.
Yeah.
As a regular foodman, if you open up the opposite end of the box, there's not that little
Tab to close it.
that little cleat inside the paper that the little tab can feed into.
Wow, the last thing I thought would be an actual reasonable answer coming from us. And that'll disappoint Luke that's what we've come up with.
So look, once the foil packet's busted open, that paper little tab locking into the other one is supposed to preserve the freshness, to keep the air out. But look, once the foil packet's busted, it could be questionable that, maybe you just leave the busted open packet face down and
I
still
think
closed up. Go figure.
it is because if you put the box upside down, Arnott's then says Stonra. If you read it the opposite direction. And that is clearly some sort of message.
Well, it's clearly an advertising thing. If you open it the wrong way, you're not going to read.
Wait, you're reading backwards.
Yeah.
That's some sort of message that
Stoner.
is meant for only some people's eyes. And they know that they need to be reading that. That's what I've come up with.
It's like when you
Joe's answer was too correct and boring, so that's what I've come up with.
Well, look, one of my favourite backwards words locally is the town of Turidan. Do you know what Turidan is spelled backwards?
Tell us what it means, Joey.
I'll write it out on paper. Let's see. This camera might be even.
Okay.
What's he doing? He can't even
need
spell
some thinking
Turidan.
music.
He can't even spell Turidan. Oh, my goodness.
Turidan backwards.
What's going on here?
Turidan and then flip the page.
He's trying to, but his hand just keeps writing out sale agreements for real estate.
I don't think he knows how to spell Turidan.
Turidan.
What's going on here?
So
Joe, can I check your spelling? Can I check your spelling? Okay.
I spelled it correctly, so
That's not going to work.
Why is it upside down?
How do you do Turidan backwards? Anyways,
great segment.
It's need a root.
Thanks for putting in a question, Luke. We love answering your questions, and we got a really sensible answer off Joey here. So I'm going to go to the next one while Dave tries to write Turidan.
I've done it. Where's the camera?
This is
where's my camera?
Turidan spelt backwards.
Nidarut.
There you go.
Make of that what you will. Thanks, Joe. That's
not
great.
as funny as I thought it was going to be.
Nah, real waste of time. Next one.
Okay, so we got RT fishing. When will we see the duck eaten by a tuna cod or snapper even? Well, Dave stole that. So,
I've got it. I just haven't had time.
Yeah,
the project is on the side.
You know what? If I go southwest to catch, into my target 100, which is looking quite sad over there, I will run the duck.
What are we up to on target 100?
The same as it's been for like 3
stationary.
months. 20?
Static.
20.
Yeah.
All right.
The duck has not been forgotten. No. I actually think that the one thing it's designed to catch, which is cod, is the least likely thing it's going to catch.
Yeah.
I think it's not. Well, Tom Pinter reckons people have caught him on it, but it won't be what I'm tying on. That's for sure. Next one we have from Brody Connolly. Have you heard any updates on those toadfish eating sword rigs off lakes? Are they still around?
Yes, I actually have.
Have you?
Yeah, so Andrew Page, who basically fishes every sword window possible, he showed me a picture of his braid from the other day when he went, and there was a big chunk out of his braid from those toads.
What, recent?
Yeah, recent.
Oh.
Yeah.
God. No, thank you. Another reason that sword fishing is very hard work. Next one is, do brim fishermen drink beer or vodka cruises?
Well, I was going to say UDLs, but...
Yeah, definitely.
I was going to say West Coast Coolers.
Bacardi Breezes.
Yeah, what's that new brand that people are drinking that's like all lolly flavours?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Anyway.
Maybe they're doing them in those shots.
Yeah.
You know, they're putting those party drinks into those one-shot guzzlers.
Yeah, the 24-pack of shots, the party shots.
Yeah. Definitely not beer, that's for sure.
Maybe they drink shandies.
Yeah, probably. Okay. One from Mitchy Chap. Do you prefer your eggs hard or runny? He's trying to do a McCredden. Runny for me.
You actually missed a couple of things.
Oh, I'll answer that. We had some fantastic eggs just around the corner from this particular studio. We had I forget the establishment's name.
Well, I wouldn't. Hard eggs are pathetic.
Yeah. What did I miss, Adrian?
Well, someone asked us before the question you read, if Adrian or Dave was to ever upgrade their boat, what would it be and why?
Mine's still down further on mine.
Okay.
Or in some different viewing mode.
Oh.
Someone said Phil is back. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So the question that you've just read out about if we were to upgrade our boat, what would it be? All right. I would probably get a Freeman giant mega cat from.
Well, because we've already answered this. That was what I said, and Dave was very upset that I said that because he said his own boat that he owned.
I was being realistic.
Yeah.
What about you? You'd get a 460 Renegade probably.
Nah, I was thinking like maybe a Surtees or a Staby console boat. Yeah, so in the 5 metre range.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to give me one, yeah, I'll happily take it off their hands.
Fair.
I just want something that's big enough to be comfortable in hurricanes.
I just want milk that tastes like real milk.
What kind of milk you been drinking? Because I know you
almond.
Okay.
Been milking almonds. If you make a post and it gets 100 likes, Brendan has to come on the show. Bring the wing. Yeah, we can try. He's dead against it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come on.
How do you, the reel leash, this feels like a loaded question. How do you secure your reels when trolling?
Okay. So the other day we had rods in my boat and I was driving like a maniac, bouncing up and down, and there was a bent butt in the back holder and it was almost out of the boat. And yeah, we don't have anything tying it down in my boat.
No.
So we just it's a bit of luck if you lose a rod or keep it on the boat.
Personally, I just go to Bunnings, buy a bit of rope and tie it to some clips and clip the rods in. I can't imagine why you would want to spend any more money than that.
Okay. Joey, how do you do it? Sip your fly up, keep the rod in there?
No, I've just got a rod rack in the front of my tinny. So they're just a vertical rod rack, so they ain't going anywhere.
Fair enough.
Right.
No, but it's when the fish takes it. That's when you want the lanyard.
Yeah, I don't have that in my tinny.
Okay.
What, fish taking things?
We just got the bait board cylindrical plastic rod holders. So look, they're on an angle that hopefully if a fish runs from it, it's not going to pull the rod into the water.
Yeah. Like I was saying before, I just play with faith. Like if it stays in the holder and the fish is on it, lucky me.
I know. They're my rods, so even better for you. Last question.
Yeah.
Who is the best angler you have fished with from Joel Double U?
That's a good question.
Yeah, go Joe.
Oh.
Okay, go Adrian.
Question, and he stumbled.
No, I don't want it to sound very obvious, but
Is it me? Is it Dave?
no, Brendan and Dave.
The best fisherman you've ever fished with?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yep.
I'm not really a complete angler though. I do a few things.
No, but your tenacity and ability to piece together a puzzle is very admirable.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. No, honestly.
I actually haven't fished with too many people. Normally I'm by myself or with Dave or Brendan. So
You know what? It's
I'm
like
going to say myself.
I can tell you a few, not from people that I've fished with, because I'm the same with you. A pretty small fishing circle.
Yeah.
it's
The
like
people who I've been observing, and they catch a wide variety of awesome fish.
Yeah.
And I think that's bloody awesome. And there's probably 2 or 3 of them. One of them,
Colby. He's a gun.
okay, Colby would be one of them, yeah. Chris Cleaver,
Oh, yes. He's very good.
New South Wales, catches stuff from estuary through to big game fishing.
Yeah.
Seems to excel at
And
everything.
consistent. Very consistent.
Very consistent. Mason Paul from Tasmania.
Yes.
Once again, everything from giant trout through to giant swords. Releases a lot of stuff too, which is cool. And I suppose 2 people in the game fishing scene would be probably Richie Arbella and Paul Rebecki, the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, yes. He is an absolute gun. Especially on the
Weapons.
tuna.
who also look. I haven't fished with him, but I know he does extremely well. Warren Carter in Western Port.
Yes. Very good is Warren.
Yeah.
Now,
Very
boys.
He's got a big boat now, doesn't he?
He's had it a while. He's got a big bait fishing boat.
Dave's hooked.
Now, Dave Mann left us with a bunch of these hats when he came last.
Yeah. They say V12 on it.
I look at the quality.
Yeah, we compared
They're
hats
great.
last week and we all agreed that the Yamaha one was a better hat.
Yeah, we did. Adrian's going to get us some. Oh God, Adrian's going to get us some Yamaha hats when he gets his motor service tomorrow. So we'll have them for next week. I think,
Yamaha.
given we have all these hats, we should select our favorite question. We haven't done that in a while, and why don't we pick the top 2
Okay.
or the top
And they're
one?
going to get a Mercury V12 hat.
Yeah, I reckon. Top 2, we happy with that?
Yep. Joey, what was your favourite question of the night?
It was who was the best fisherman?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, no, it was a very good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay.
What else are you thinking, Adrian?
Well, I liked Luke McCredden's because they're very creative and gets you thinking.
Yeah. And
Joey
he needs to
answered
be-
it too straight.
Yeah,
He needed a more creative answer, but it was great.
I think he needs to be rewarded for his constant exemplary question asking. So you can have a hat, Luke. Well done.
Well, I think that basically sums up the show, unless you got some more input, Joey, before you wrap it up.
Should we let him?
No, that's good. That's
What's
good.
up,
Oh,
you
yeah.
bloody legends? Thanks for listening to Win Against Tide again. That's it for another episode. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'd be doing us a massive favour. Thanks, guys. Hang on, you've cut him off.
I was going to say, make sure you get out and vote on Saturday.
You did just say that.